Hey, thanks for coming by Tori Magoo 44. It's the 13th, almost the 14th. It's Mr. Anonymous, myself, and his girlfriend. It's Valentine's Day. What can I say? Anyway, I hope you guys are doing something fun for Valentine's Day, spreading love far and wide. Make sure to call all your loved ones and just pass it around. It's a beautiful day. Today I'm going to just be talking to you a little bit. People have been asking me about this Debbie Cook, who's been doing a great job, I want to say. I'm very happy with the interviews. Thank you, Tony Ortega. Thank you to Tampa Tribune, everyone who's been, getting more and more information out. It's just been incredible. It's like the hits just keep on coming. One of the things that people seem to be a little bit confused about is Debbie saying, well, Disconnection was canceled in 1968 by L. Ron Hubbard, and David Miscavige brought it back in. And I'm just going to give you my 2 cents on it. I got into Scientology in 1969. They may have canceled, I believe it was canceled where it was like writing letters saying, I'm disconnecting from you. The main difference is that Hubbard, this was my understanding. See, I have epilepsy, so I was declared PTS right away, right? A potential trouble source. Meaning you're connected to someone who's suppressive. And then you have to go in and figure out, all right, who's suppressive? Well, my mother was very antagonistic to Scientology and me being in it because they tried to get me off my medication for epilepsy. I started having grand mal seizures, losing my memory. It was awful. And my mother was like, they're going to kill you, right? And she was actually right. She did save my life. But in that interim, before I realized she was right, I bought, okay, she must be the SP, right? That's creating this. And I know it probably sounds weird to people that have never been in Scientology, but that is the way it is. That's the tech. That's what it is. And I believed it, so I was like, all right, so she's the SP, right? So, and I'm the potential trouble source. But Hubbard, in his old days, said the last thing, the very last thing, it's sort of like a rainbow of things you can do to handle someone who is suppressive. The very last thing you would do over on this side is disconnect. You can do ethics gradients with them, different things, good roads, fair weather, which is what I did with my mother, which was basically just kind of talking about general friendly things, the weather, or we went to the movies, or something like that, but not getting into deep things like Scientology, because it would just tick her off every time. Whereas David Miscavige is all the way over, goes from here, whoosh, over to this side, right away, disconnect. Even people who are just reading Marty's blog, I've talked to people where people inside the church, as soon as one person heard that they were reading some of this stuff on the net, boom, everybody stopped talking to him. So they said, we might as well leave. So they left, went over to Marty's site, and there you go, they're out. But the point is, it's a big difference in how both of them were done. LRH did write the policy on disconnection. I have been declared suppressive, I'm proud to say, which means I'm declared by the Church of Scientology. Again, this was a thing that happened by David Miscavige overnight. L. Ron Hubbard said you're supposed to have ethics gradients, you're supposed to have a fitness board where they check and see, should you even have to go to a committee of evidence. If they decide you do, okay, then you have to go into this committee of evidence to look at the evidence, hear your side, their side, look at all the facts, and from it, if it all comes out you have really done some evil, horrible things, okay, you're declared suppressive, that's it. But did that happen with me? Hell no. They never did one ethics thing on me, not one. Think of it, it's a whole rainbow of things that's supposed to happen before you are declared over on this side. I happened to be in Boston when Mark Bunker made the video Magoo Dancing in Boston. I didn't know he was making it. I knew he was making it about Stacy and Bob who were picketing. I was just talking to the staff there. Bunker made it, put it up on the internet. I was declared the next day. That was it. Nobody said a thing to me. I never had any ethics actions. I never had any fitness board. I never had a committee of evidence. Nothing. They didn't even tell me I was declared. The only reason I knew I was declared is because I got home, they had ransacked my house, and everything that had to do with Scientology was gone. And I wanted my receipts to see if I had any money on account. So I called Flag, saying, this is Tori Bazazian at the time. I want to talk to Treasury. I'm looking for my receipts. Boom, they put me through to the Justice Chief. The Justice Chief said, do you want to know why you're talking to the Justice Chief? And I said, yeah, I'd really like to know that. Why is that? She said, because you're declared suppressive. And I said, well, you may be too young to know this. I wanted to tick her off because Jesse and Stacy had told me they never got their SP declared. So I knew they weren't sending them out. So I was hoping to kind of like push her buttons a little bit so she'd send mine. And it worked. So I said, you might be too young to know this, but there is this policy. If it isn't in writing, it isn't true, which is true. Hubbard has that. And I said, so I have nothing in writing saying that. And she said, I'll have it to you within 24 hours. And I said, okay, I'll see it. I'll believe it when I see it. So I got it. Yes, I laminated it because I use it, as you see, all the time. And I've taken it to meetings with ministers and all kinds of different things. Thank you for the Church of Scientology for declaring me suppressive. So anyway, for me, that's the main difference. Is yes, he may have canceled the actual, writing letters saying I disconnect from you, and Hubbard did have it differently than Miscavige in that it was the last thing that you did on the list. But he did write it. He did write the policy on it, and he's also written some other very creepy things, fair game, which again, he wrote a cancellation of the title fair game, but at the very bottom of it, it says this cancellation does not apply to suppressive persons. So that means they can still fair game people, which they do all the time. You can talk to any one of us that's out, and most of us have been fair gamed. Oh, yes, we have. And you can just look on the internet, Religious Freedom Watch, and read all the slime they have. Now, have they ever heard my side of the story once? Not even once? No. They just took whatever they wanted. And Hubbard said, if you don't have slime on somebody, if you don't have dirt on them, make it up. Go ahead. That's what L. Ron Hubbard said. So that's what happens there. That stuff isn't fact. And the very fact that they can't ever interview one of us and find out our side proves it can't possibly be true. If it was true, they would hear both sides, wouldn't they? There you go. So I say to you, look at both sides, make up your own mind. For the people that are in, don't keep digging your head in the sand, okay? We all wouldn't be out here if there weren't some blazing things wrong. And there are. All right, Debbie, keep going. You're doing a great job of letting people know what's really going down, and happily the people are listening to it. I love that. Tony, thank you for what you do. The Tampa Tribune, thank you. To everyone around the internet, thank you for continuing to expose this insidious organization. And from me, Mr. Anonymous, there you are, and Mr. Anonymous's girlfriend, happy Valentine's Day to all of you. I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Valentine's Day. Peace out. Bye-bye.